Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. Like every Friday, I'm joined by Mr. Chip Chirimbus of the aplay.com. Chip's been around forever and a day in our industry, and there's a reason why, because he does awfully damn good. Chipper, enjoying the sun today, I see.
Yeah, it's nice to be outdoors. We decided to get involved with a little nature here because we're naturally winning every weekend nowadays. I mean, the way it's going for us in college basketball and in the NBA, another game of the year winner on Saturday, outright underdog winner. And 28-9, Ross, the last 37 megabuck plays. They just keep rolling along right now. And 3 of those losses, Ross, if a game goes overtime, I have no chance. I have Syracuse plus 8.5. They lose by 9. I have Xavier plus 1.5. That goes triple overtime. And just the other day with Mississippi State against Auburn, they get blown out. It's just an incredible happenstance. You expect maybe once in a while the underdog would have a chance in these games to go overtime. But it seems like the same thing happened to us in football. If you remember the Dallas-New England game and there was Kansas City game where in overtime they only needed a field goal and we would cover either way
against Buffalo.
Touchdown.
I had Mississippi State the other day as well.
That's the one. But I guess brilliant minds think alike. I thought they were a great side.
Yeah, I mean they were +4 at home against Auburn, who's since Auburn's been ranked number 1, they've struggled on the road. I mean, they won the game by 13 if you're just looking at the final score, but that 13-point margin all came in overtime, and really tough because the old adage is when you have an underdog and the game goes overtime, now you have to win the game twice because you had the right play in regulation. It is what it is.
Called gambling.
Yeah, we win some like that too, but we quickly forget the ones we win like that.
I can't remember winning any of those of late. I'll tell you that.
That's what I mean. Anyway, just a quick thought here, folks. Our YouTube channel, the last 12 videos on the YouTube channel here, between myself, I do them with Chip and then I do them with Doug Upstone. The last 12 videos were 19-5. So for those of you who like to complain, you've been awful quiet lately. Somebody reached out the other day and was really ridiculing Chip because he took Charlotte over Cleveland and he predicted Cleveland would win by 35. And he said that if the game didn't win, if Charlotte covered that game, quote unquote, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm going to fly to the moon. So I told him to have a safe trip after the game. I told him to watch out for that rocket that crashed into the moon that left a giant crater. Don't fall in. And when you get home, don't quit your day job as well.
This is why people need us because they just don't understand the numbers of what's going out there. I think we have a much better feel for it. I know the game we were talking about it. The line to me was out of whack, and Charlotte, who had lost like 4 or 5 in a row and 12 out of 13, comes out and wins the game by 20. So it's a day in a life for us, but other people have to learn that there's a different perspective and way to look at these games.
Yeah, Cleveland had won 8 of their last 9 at home. I mean, if you're just looking at the raw data, I guess that I could see why you might have went that way, but when you do it every day, these are the types of things you spot. I talked about this with Doug, and I'm sure you agree with this, Chip. Your intuition sometimes in this business when you do it every day is good, but you don't have good intuition unless you do the work daily. If you're not doing the work daily, your intuition is not going to be anywhere close to what ours is. We do this professionally, folks. We're not 2 guys that are just jumping up here with nothing but, hey, let's make a video. Hey, sports betting is big now. Maybe we can attract an audience. We don't do that. We take this very seriously. It's been our livelihood, mine for 20 years, Chip, since the mid to late 80s, I think, right? Is that correct?
Since the late 70s.
Late 70s.
78, right.
Wow. So about 44 years.
44 years.
You've been doing it for a little bit. Anyway, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing to get winning sports advice from veteran handicappers like myself, Chip Chirimbus, and Doug Upstone. And like I said, folks, 19-5 with our last 12 videos combined. Me and Chip are 8-4 with our last 6. Me and Doug 11-1 with our
Wow.
last 6. And Doug Upstone is just on fire. He's now hit 9 straight winners and 11 of his last 12. So again, folks, and these aren't even our paid selections. So keep that in mind. Anyway, Chip, March Madness is upon us. I mean, some of these small tournaments are underway, and also small conference tournaments, I should say, mid-majors, however you want to term them. And final week of the regular season for the major conferences. And tomorrow I'm going to miss these Saturdays with a million games, 140 games plus. But anyway, Chipper, you got to play in the Indiana Purdue game that goes at 2:00 tomorrow. The game will be played in West Lafayette, Indiana. And Purdue currently is a 10-point favorite. Take it away, my friend.
All right, the state of Indiana should be proud to have this game. But, the last time these two met, the Hoosiers were on a 9-game losing streak, and they upended Purdue 68-65. Now I think it's time for a little payback. Purdue has dropped their last 2, but prior to that loss earlier in the season, they had won and covered 4 straight against the Hoosiers. And the Hoosiers, since breaking their losing streak by winning over Purdue, have only gone 2-6 against the number since. And those 2 wins came against Minnesota and Maryland, the dregs of the Big Ten. So Purdue is one of the leading rebounding teams in the country. I think defense efficiently, they are number 1, and their advantage over Indiana is huge. Indiana just doesn't rebound the ball as well. And I'm gonna lay it. I think Purdue, the Boilermakers, are ready to bust out good, and I just don't think the Hoosiers are ready for anything right now, Ross. I think the Hoosiers are an NIT team.
Yeah, they are. They started out the year pretty good. They were pretty good defensively, but since conference play, they've been a whole different team defensively. I think when you're referring to the 9 straight losses, you're referring to them losing 9 in a row to Purdue, correct? Or a 9-game losing streak. I don't recall.
No, they had a 9-game point spread losing streak during the season.
I just want to clarify that for the audience. Okay. So you like Purdue minus the 10 over Indiana. And I'm going to take a look at an SEC battle. 2 teams that are not going to make the NCAA tournament unless they win the SEC tournament, which I highly doubt. Mississippi State travels to College Station, Texas, to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. Mississippi State, we just alluded to this game. They're coming off a gut-wrenching loss to Auburn, one of the top 5 team in Auburn, and Mississippi State looked like they had the game in hand. Auburn tied it up late, and then in overtime, Auburn did not miss a field goal attempt and did not miss a free throw attempt. And after scoring 21 points in the second half, Auburn scored 19 in overtime in 5 minutes. Anyway, they didn't cover that game, and that's going to take a lot of wind out of their sails mentally, emotionally, and momentum-wise, in my opinion. Also, this is a Mississippi State team. They've done pretty well at home, but on the road in SEC play, they're just 1-7, and their only win came over a lackluster, not very good Missouri team. Mississippi State also this year as a pick'em to a +4. Right now, they're a 2.5-point dog. They've gone 0-4 straight up in ATS. And A&M, talking about losing streaks, they start the year 15-2. They lose 8 straight games, and they've bounced back since that 8-game losing streak to win 4 of their last 5, including going 3-0 straight up in ATS in their last 3, and also includes going to Alabama in their previous game and knocking off the nationally ranked Alabama Crimson Tide by 10 as a 16-point underdog. During this current 3-game win streak that they have, which they won and covered on each occasion, they've averaged close to 85 points per game, and they've shot a combined 55.8%. I just think it's a great spot for the short home favorite here. I'm going to take Texas A&M minus the 2.5 over Mississippi State. And Chip Chirimbus, he likes Purdue in the Battle of Indiana over the Indiana Hoosiers. Purdue is minus 10 in that game. Chipper, tell the folks how you've been doing of late, where they could find you, and what you might have going on tomorrow.
Well, this is like a handicapper's dream right now for us, Ross. We're 28-9 with our last 37 megabuck plays in college basketball. Those are best bet winners, of course, along with our game of the year, which is now 2-0 in college basketball. You know, we were documented 9-0 in college football, and I'm posting another game of the year this Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to keep it a secret which conference we're coming with, Ross, because these winners, the lines will start moving like crazy. But, you know, we're really playing really well out there, and 23-11 and our last 24 overall. And I know you've done fairly well yourself, but you can get these games at theaplay.com or chipwins.com. Get up for the single play will be out there for you at a reasonable price, too. How about that, Ross?
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me, my friend. Anytime you could put Chip Chirimbus in your corner on a college basketball Saturday, I like your chances. And, you know, Chip made a good point, and I'm going to have to refer to this again, is we're taping 24 hours in advance, no excuses whatsoever. You see how well we're doing. I just alluded to our records. But the fact of the matter is these lines are subject to change depending on when you view the video. Sometimes these lines could change as much as 2 or 3 points. That's why Chip brought it to your attention, but we will grade the picks on the line we give you at the time of the recording. Sometimes that works for us and sometimes that works against us, but it's the only fair way to do things. Right. Myself, Chipper, 28-17 with my last 45 in college basketball. That's good for 62%. All picks in all sports since January 28th, I'm 66-47, which is good for 58%. My dime players are up over 14 grand during that period of time. That's close to a 6-week period. So, you know, when you have that many picks hitting at that higher percentage and making that kind of money, it's not a fluke. NBA totals have been on fire, Chipper. 11-4 with my last 15, 21-12 with my last 33. NBA overall 17-11 with my last 28. So a lot of winning being done between Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin. Once again, you can get Chip's plays at theaplay.com or chipwins.com. You could find me at my personal website, which is rbwins.com or rossbenjaminsports.com, where you could find both sites. You'll find daily, weekly, monthly, and annual packages. And of course, folks, if you don't see something that fits your bill, give us a call. You know, be ready to pay. Tell us what you want and we'll work it out for you. But if you start questioning on who do you like tomorrow? What do you think of this game? What do you think of that game? That's not what the phone call is designed for. Don't mean to scare you. Just telling it the way it is. Anyway, Chip, any final thoughts? The sun went down and Chipper's in the shade. Anyway, until the next time, I'll be with Chip back on Tuesday. And folks, throughout the month of March, we're going to be doing nothing but college basketball free winners on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and give the old guys a like. You know, it's just a small token of your appreciation. Till the next time, for Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, good luck and God bless, folks.